What you were looking at is a white girl who literally can't even. Okay, so say that shit to me again.
Trump, 21 minutes ago, this is breaking news from the New York Times. Trump proposes rejoining TPP as White House seeks to shield farmers from the trade war. You know, that shit that we pulled out of because, we got to take care of us first, and that's why we're pulling out of the TPP. Oh, my eye, I'm getting a headache. Maybe this is why I'm going blind. It's Trump's fault.
How?
Ladies and gentlemen, this white girl can't even.
How is he better than Hillary again?
Trump is a giant fat cheater.
You're supposed to be home sick. Okay. You talk about Cheetah Puffs. At least your voice is coming back. This morning it would have sounded like a frog said that. No, but seriously, like, maybe we should take the guns. It's going to go ahead and march us into a war with Russia, basically, over Syria. And you're diving right back into the TPP. You know, calculating. Wasn't that what they said about Hillary? She's calculating. Wouldn't we all love somebody who could calculate?
So essentially, China called our bluff, and we folded.
Oh.
So this is what happened. China called our bluff.
China has embarrassed us.
No words.
And Jinping seems like the leader of the free world right now. So, congratulations, Trump. You put China at the center of the world stage.
These white girls literally can't even have coffee.
Yeah, there's coffee.
Ooh, that was risky.
No, but seriously, like, I think Trump is dead, and Hillary Clinton is wearing a Trump suit, and she's just fucking with us.
Like an Edgar suit? But
Yeah, like an Edgar suit, but a Trump suit.
Your skin's hanging.
Sugar and water. Yeah. More.
Is this better?
I haven't seen Men in Black for a long time.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Saw it yesterday.
We don't even have to see if we have the DVD buried somewhere. How about that?
I
don't think we actually do have that.
I don't think
movie.
that's one that we have. I used to have all of them.
It's not pure enough sci-fi for us to warrant a DVD purchase. You know.
No, that's like dumb sci-fi.
Yes. Independence Day, on the other hand.
Yes, we own that one. Not the new one. It's the original one.
Isn't that Big Willie?
Mm-hmm.
Big Willie.
Big Willie style.
He stole that nickname from me.
Getting jiggy with it. What?
What?
No. Ow.
I don't think that's how. I don't think it went na.
It was
Like
that was an Austin
getting
Powers.
jiggy at Vegas.
That was Austin Powers. That was Dr. Evil with the mini me.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Aight.
Get in my belly. I do a horrible fat bastard impersonation. Got the turtle head poking out.
Oh, I'll be right back. I've got one hanging. It's like a wee turtle head poking out.
I have my very own fat bastard. That is not a fat bastard.
And I'm dead sexy. You want some of this?
Look at my sexy bed.
Look at my sexy bed. It's been too long. I spent a lot of high school doing impersonations of that shit.
Hey man, what was it, my junior year at the spring band concert, we always did like a little surprise play. We did a Star Wars Austin Powers crossover. That was fucking brilliant. I was actually in that one.
Hands getting tired. Where's my little wire thing I made?
I'm pretty sure Misha ran off.
No, I got it right here.
Oh.
There, look at that. Galvanized wire, and a pair of needle nose pliers, and too much free time. And you got a camera stand. I can argue with your laptop for who gets to take up space. Alright. Wasn't that special? Look at my horrible black screen. See, that's why the freaking toilet paper was over there, so it's not in the middle of a video.
Sorry, my hair runs too.
Yeah, I have our professional green screen. Oh, cover it up. Oh yeah. Welcome to the crappy graphics studio. Or you just zoom in and pretend that isn't there. How about that? Toilet paper on my shoulder. Got the other leg on my shoulder. What? Well, tangent there. Cheese and chong thing.
Today's National Grilled Cheese Day.
What are we supposed to do?
Eat grilled cheese.
Oh, that's an easy one. Okay. I guess I can't really protest that. Why is my foot on camera? Oh god, my foot's on camera. It's like half the fucking screen. Correct. My foot is bigger than my wife. Fuck. So anyways, I don't really know why I set the camera over there, but to make fun of the fact that I was setting the camera over there. It's easy for me to say. So, you got Zuckerberg in his little booster seat.
Tiny little hands. How big is that? He's got some
Senator, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want anyone accessing my phone records. Senator, no, I wouldn't anyone seeing my communications.
Or knowing where I spent the night at what hotel I was in last
Right.
night.
And then he's just outright bullshitting the people. He's outright fucking bullshitting people. See, he's trying to make it seem like, and for some reason, there's been like talking points memos issued to fucking comedians who I think are fucking shills and pieces of shit to begin with. Or at the very least, somebody on their writing staff is, and they need to be fucking fired, probably investigated. This whole idea that the congressmen and the senators didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. They're just a bunch of fools old men. It's not that you log into a hotel or whatever and you get to choose to share it. Okay. While that is true, the only choice that you make is whether or not to share it with your friends. Okay? And that's what Faceboy's answer was about. His name is no longer Zuckerberg, it's Faceboy. Facebook and Faceboy. Faceboy. Boy, he's got a hell of a face, doesn't he? Like what? How did they graft the skin to that corpse? That's all I'm saying. That is one fucking dead looking dude. It looks like he should be a redhead.
Sorry, he looks like a what?
It looks like he should be a redhead, but like the pigment doesn't escape.
Mm-hmm.
He's just so bland and fucking soulless. He is a redhead, but you just can't see it. But he's got that, spawn of Satan look that most redheads have. Like my dad. My dad was a redhead. I saw my dad take out $9,000 worth of antique furniture in one kick. Ming Dynasty. They used to have a lot of Southeast Asian furniture. All of Singapore and other travel. Apparently, I was almost fucking born in Singapore. I know more about that story, but I don't. And now I never will, because my mom's dead. What were we talking about again?
I don't know, speaking of dead. Apparently, April 23rd, the world's gonna end.
Again?
Again, it's the new Armageddon. New Armageddon. They're saying that on April 23rd. What is it?
Wait, when was the world gonna end last year? They keep changing the day. Can we just have like an anniversary type thing where it's just like, hey, the world's gonna end today, and like that'll be like World Ending Day, and we can have it on the same day every year. That way, everybody remembers. Because it's wrong every time anyway. So
apparently,
when the world's gonna end, I'll fucking let you know.
Apparently, okay. Mercury, Venus, and Mars are all gonna align that day, and Nibiru is gonna appear, and madness will spread. World War III will start.
Nibiru again?
Yes, again, Nibiru.
It's only been like a year and a half since they said that shit.
And they're comparing it with one of the verses in Revelations. You might find this one fascinating, right? Revelation 12, verse 1 through 2. And a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. So they're saying, you ready for the kicker? That during this time frame, on April 23rd, the moon appears under the feet of the constellation Virgo.
The Sun appears to be too precisely clothe Virgo, and Jupiter is birthed on April 8th of 2018. The 12 stars at that date include the 9 stars of Leo and the 3 planetary alignments of Mercury, Venus, and Mars, which combine to make a count of 12 stars on the head of Virgo. Thus, the constellations Virgo, Leo, and Serpens, whatever the hell that name is, represent a unique once-in-a-century sign exactly as depicted in the 12th chapter of Revelation. This is because, everybody's forgetting the whole, nobody's ever gonna know the day and time. that whole, chapter in Matthew is just going over everybody's head.
Yeah.
For no man shall know the date and time.
Although I must say the astrological reference does sound familiar.
Yeah, but you know what? They always find some crap
I know.
to line up
I'm the one
with
who
some
wrote that.
verse and some shit. Let's pick a verse, any verse, and we can make it pertain to.
I know, but that actually is. I started thinking there was one that was supposed to line up in 2018 that was actually supposed to be significant, and that does sound right.
Oh, well.
That's something they've been talking about for a while.
Well, today is April 12th, so y'all's asses got 11 days or 10 days to square up whatever you need. Sorry. Those always.
All it means is the war's about to start.
Well, that's what they said. World War III will start, and it's like supposed to be the marker of the start of tribulation. World War III is going to start. This is going to be the time of the rise of the Antichrist. And the Nibiru is supposed to appear in the sky and spread madness and chaos across the land.
What's all this shit about Nibiru? What was that?
I don't know. Apparently, I don't know where that came in, but supposedly when the planets align, then Nibiru is just going to magically appear. This big giant planet is just supposed to appear. We track asteroids all the time, but it's just supposed to appear. Hold on, let me pull it back. Well, there's no way to see what this is.
Revelation chapter 12, the woman and the dragon. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. I always wondered, is there like 7 heads on each one combining to make 49 crowns, or is that like 1 head per crown?
David.
I'm kidding. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God, and to his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. 3.5 years. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. Cryptic. And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And there was war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Then the intentional and cryptic part. And the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. In the next line, separate. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out. Out. You're out. That old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth. And his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before God day and night. What form is it that the deceiver, the Antichrist, what form is depicted in his actions that makes him the deceiver? What is the only thing that he is described as doing? The accuser, the finger pointer. How can an accuser be the deceiver of the world? You don't need to know how. You just need to keep an eye out for it, don't you? Now, do we know anybody who accused the good people and deceived the world by accusing the good people? Now you see, the good people being in the world would also be deceived by these accusations. Deceived even about themselves and led into corruption. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And when the dragon saw he was cast into earth, he persecuted the woman, which brought forth the man-child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time, and times, from the face of this serpent. Excuse me, a time, and times, and half a time. And the serpent cast out of his mouth, water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. This is what I call insert. This is all pieced together. It's not a prophecy. It's an encoded account of something that already happened. Because at the time, much like this time, we were at war. We were being conquered. And the devil, the deceiver, very important, had been cast to earth with his angels, and he made war on Christianity. So if you want to claim to be adhering to the Bible or interpreting anything the Bible says in context, you have to understand that. And if what you're doing isn't trying to find who the devil is, who his angels are, and who that army is that's been raised against us, you're pretty much wasting your fucking time.
You're doing it wrong.
When you see the moon go by, does it remind you that you're on a tiny speck floating in space? Or do you understand basic concepts of observation? When you see something in the sky and it's going away from you, it looks like it's going down. Feel it, right? I just move this away from you. And look, oh look, it looks like it's going down. That's just perfectly level. It's going away from you. Okay. The neck level of the camera. Oh, yeah. Oh look, looks like it's going down. Oh look, it's revolving around the elbow. No, it's just going away from it. When something is coming towards you. It looks like it's going up. Something is high above you. And it passes at that height. It's also high above you. Eventually. It looks like it's coming from the horizon. It's not even going to look like it's getting much bigger when it passes above you, because it was above that shit too. You think everything in the Bible has to do with this fictional reality that Satan has tried to usurp created reality with. Understand that a war between deities is a war between interpretations of what it means to exist. You find yourselves caught in the middle of this war because in many ways you caused it. Now, to me, it's no problem understanding that the moon is just a thing that goes around in a circle. Because in the underworld, in places besides this, there are things that just go and do their thing. Some of them are not in the sky. So it's a little more obvious what they are. Now, when such leviathans or dragons or stars do things according to what you might think is prophecy about astrological alignments, understand that no, in fact, things are happening much more the way that they are described. And that before the devil was cast here and deceived the whole world, according to Scripture, people were blind if they couldn't see the spirituality of reality. You know, the interaction between spiritual being and heavenly being and humankind was normal. What we now call, or what we now only experience as the occasional UFO sighting or something like that, was just normal and a lot more impressive. There weren't rules of expectation that limit possibility. And when it says there's a fucking red dragon in the sky, it means there's a fucking red dragon. Now, you might not know what a dragon is. You might be picturing some sort of dinosaur-like creature with a physical form, scales and claws and shit. You'd be mostly incorrect. And I say mostly occasionally a dragon does actually turn into a dragon. Facebook.
It's not Facebook.
It's not Facebook.
eBay.
Oh, it's eBay. I want to go with Facebook.
At least 15 minutes.
Trying to wean her off with like mockery and stuff. Now, as far as this alignment and its place in the big series of prophetic events that have been harped on for over a decade now. Careful what you wish for. Just as you expect this reality to be a speck floating in space. If you expect World War III to happen, it just might happen. If you expect it to happen because of an alignment, it'll happen because of an alignment. All that has to happen is the spread of fake news. Reality changes. But if you expect to have to do nothing, sit on your ass, and fail to give testimony, if you fail to point out the truth every time you realize it, if you fail to confess brainwashing or having been brainwashed, the moment the inkling comes to you, wait a minute, maybe I've been wrong about mocking Christians. Maybe I should have been pointing out hypocrisy and making Christians better Christians. Well, when the world decides that it's going to do nothing to deserve hell, and the hypocrites stomp their feet like whiny, spoiled children, saying that Jesus is going to come back and destroy all the people we don't like.
Be the first to go.
Yep.
Sorry, did I say that?
There are, how do you say, limits to every imposed rule.
Well, that right there in itself goes to show that Christians have forgotten what Christianity is all about. Because there was only one real message. I don't know if you want to get all technical with like the Bible and everything. When Jesus came around and
I got
the New
something,
Testament. Love one another. So going around saying, "Oh, they're going to take the people we don't like," well, you're not being a true Christian because you're not loving everyone. You're supposed to.
Be careful what you wish for. See, the thing about this whole idea Basically, you assholes think you've outsmarted God and found yourselves a free ticket to heaven. What did I tell you about thinking you're smarter than me? Be careful what you wish for. You want your Christ to come back and destroy all the people you don't like? Well, what happens if being as you are hypocrites and being as you were warned about antichrists, false Christs, could it be that the Christ you're after, the Christ you're expecting, the Christ you want to come back and reverse God's will, he's not the real baby Jesus?
I like to picture Jesus as a ninja.
I like to picture Jesus blowing his nose because it makes me feel like he's a person. And I can be a person too. Got toilet paper over my shoulder. So if those who lust after prophecy have all come to worship a fake idea of Jesus, and in all their bluster, they yearn for his return and profess to be subservient to this concept, and that's their excuse. Well, guess what? They're going to get the reward that they've earned. So beware of false prophets, for they sap from you the knowledge and the strength to do what you must do in this time. Think not of the present, they say. Look to the future. You can't do anything about it, because it's prophecy. So take your hands, put them under your ass cheeks, and have a seat, because there's nothing you can do. I hate those fucking people. Hi, I'm Sean Morris. Welcome to the Lost Begotten channel. On this channel, you will find actual Jesus and what he's got to tell you. I'm speaking third person so I don't sound like a crazy person. What he's got to tell you is that the world you live in is pretty fucked up and it's largely of your own making. And you should probably fix it before you all die. Anything weird and metaphysical about that? Anything lofty and spiritual and hard to believe about that? No? Well, good. Because there's nothing lofty and spiritual about me.